and that means I am dead. Today we're doing something a little bit different on the channel. We are going to be going and using ChatGPT to help us out with our Pokemon TCG Live decks. So basically how it works is I'm going to pick a card at random, and for this video we are going to be focusing on the Pachirisu from the new Mega Evolution set. So what I did was I told AI a prompt to get Pachirisu as one of the cards in a deck. I then asked it to build a deck around it, not even using it as a main attacker, but as a supporting role. As long as that card was in that deck, we will be good. And honestly, it turned out a lot better than I was anticipating. So that gave me the idea to do a little bit of a video around it. So I already have the prompts laid out in this episode. In future episodes, I will prompt the AI during the recording, so that way you guys can see it all work out and we can all see it at the same point in time. I just wanted to give this a test to see if it would work, but we are going to focus on the Pachirisu deck today. If you guys have a card that you would like to see in the next videos, please be sure to leave it down in the comment section below. And if you are lucky enough, we might be able to use your card in the next recording. So without further ado, let's get into this one. So starting off here today, I've already got my prompts laid out for this one. Like I said, in future videos, I'm planning on just doing it as we go and using cards that you guys suggest. For me today, I wanted to use this Pachirisu card. I love Pachirisu, and it honestly seems like that card would be really good in a deck that could actually manage it properly. So I went into ChatGPT here, and the prompt I gave it was, can you build me a Pokemon TCG Live deck using the new Pachirisu card from the Mega Evolution set? The card I'm referring to should not be the main card in the deck. It should be a starting hand that allows me to stop opponents from setting up energy early game and allow myself for a quicker and easier win. I made sure that it knew that it needed to be tournament legal as of September 27th of 2015. The prompt it gave me here was basically just recapping that this Pachirisu is a lightning basic Pokemon, and Electrified Incisor does 10 damage, and then during my opponent's next turn, if they attach an energy to that defending Pokemon, I get to place 8 more damage counters on that Pokemon. It's basically just a deterrent from letting them set up, so if I can force out one of their main hitters that they can't get energies on and force them to possibly waste a retreat item, then that is perfect for me. It gave me the idea here, assuming with Mega Evolutions that they're going to be in the standard set, so for right now in the actual game here, it is legal. Even though I know it's about 2 weeks out for Megas to be legal in real life tournaments. But it gave me a strategy sketch, basically telling me that if it's in my hand or drawn, it can act as a toolbox or disruptor. It told me that we need to focus on getting our main attackers and our energy acceleration, withdraw power, etc. Once it tells us the main threats online, we need to shift our focus to knocking out the opponent's Pokemon and taking prize cards. And the Pachirisu can still serve as a chump blocker, bait, disruption in the mid game, though its damage output is going to be much weaker, especially if they already have something set up with energies. Then it comes down to our first draft here, where it tells us we have roughly 20 Pokemon and wants us to have 3 of the Pachirisus, a couple other basic lightning utility Pokemon that are like lower cost. Wants us to have an initial first attacker, a second attacker, an evolution line that focuses around lightning. I think it kind of told me like a Pikachu Raichu thing, but again, it doesn't know what was there because I didn't have it do intensive research in this prompt. Energy acceleration and lightning support for Pokemon, so you know there it's just talking about like if we can get stuff up, kind of like to me it sounds like a Miraidon. And then a tech or basic utility, like a non-lightning if meta demands. So to me there, like it's an endgame walker. Maybe we could have done a Blood Moon or a Saluna, or maybe we could have done like a Mew or a Latias to get the free retreats or the draw power, maybe even a Fez. But I did not go that route, and I can show you why in just a second here. It told us about 30 supporters. Really, it only told me quick balls for the basic lightning Pokemon, and then it was like energy acceleration items, which to me is the electric generator. Drawing supports like professors, boss's orders or equivalent, like toolboxes. Think about a stadium card, discard hand disruption like Ionos, having a switch, energy recover, or anything to draw or filter out items. Going in further, it tells me about 10 energies, 8 to 10 basic lightning energies, maybe 1 to 2 specials if I could use like maybe a jet energy to force something out onto the field. That was what it told me here, was just giving me ideas of what I could pair it with, but I thought a little bit further and I'm like, you know what? I don't like that response. I appreciate what it did here, like, you know, it breaks it down and maybe tells me some examples and maybe what we could use, but I wanted something more. I know ChatGPT could give me more here, so what I ended up going through is after it tells me all the strengths, the weaknesses, and the adjustments I need to make, told them, I'm like, hey, that's super helpful, but can we please get a complete deck from the web research, seeing what cards could synergize best together to benefit Pachirisu's stall potential. I gave it examples thinking about like maybe a Raging Bolt EX or Iron Hands, Mega Manectric, and see where it could take us from there. And let me tell you, the results did not disappoint here. So it thought for 3 minutes and 10 seconds because I told it to search the web for what it needed, and it comes up with 58 different sources. Where it went through, trying to confirm the type of Raging Bolt EX. It could be Dragon or Lightning. It's considering the Ancient Dragon, the Lightning type based on other cards for the set. and it verified legalities, then started searching other regulations and standard legality based on the Pachirisu from that set. Then it's talking about like what's getting rotated out, still giving us all the sources that it was pulling from, like 14 at a time here and so on. Really breaking us down, finding the electric generator to make sure that we could have some cycle ability with our lightning energies. And then it was considering adding a Mega Miraidon for a tandem unit that lets us fetch basic electric type Pokemon to our bench, which I thought was super cool that it started focusing in on that. They confirmed reprints that Boss's Orders and Counter Catcher to ensure that everything was still going to be working in legal format. I think that is fantastic. Like, it's going through and finding everything we can, like Prime Catcher, checking that for that aspect, the legality of the 3.0 Pokegear, Beach Court considering for like basic retreat costs being lowered by 1, which we have a lot of basic Pokemon in here. It's just outside of the Mega Manectric that we don't really have that. And then it finds here like the 3 Mega Manectric was going to be a solid piece with 4 Electric, 2 Miraidon EX, 2 Iron Hands, and then 2 to 3 Pachirisu with 1 to 2 Raikou based on where we wanted to go there. And then it tells us we're done. And it creates the Squirrel and Surge Pokemon TCG Live deck, fully legal. So it's taking Pachirisu, Mega Manectric EX, Iron Hands EX. It told us we have 17 Pokemon, but this is where it gets a little bit cut and a little choppy here. So obviously with ChatGPT and AI comes room for error. Obviously, as you saw, it did intensive research and it was absolutely amazing what it was able to put together for us. However, it was considering the fact now that Megas are being a new introduction back into the TCG, as if I'm remembering correctly, when the Megas were released in the TCG prior, you needed to have your basic and then your Mega. It was thinking that I needed to have 2 Manectrics for a pre-evolution, and it was trying to find one from the Mega set. There's not. So we needed to make sure that, like, you know, just don't add those. There's no reason to. They evolve right from Electric. So that was one of those that we had to take out. That's telling us exactly what we need to do. Pachirisu is an opener that locks early manual attachments. Our Electric for our Manectric line, the Manectric as a mid-game attacker, Flash Ray prevents all damage, and I can potentially cycle out my deck for 330 damage, which could one-shot a couple of these Megas that we're going to see today. Miraidon's a good tandem unit that'll give us the 2 basic lightning Pokemon, so that way they can get on our bench and fill those up. Iron Hands, just so we can get Ampy very much to get +1 on prize cards, because I don't think you guys understand how strong that is going to be if we cannot one-shot a Mega Pokemon in this set, but we can get an Iron Hands out to do the second shot to finish off the Mega. That's 4 prize cards, because the Megas are taking 3. If you guys are unaware with that, Megas are back to 3 prize card decks. So this Iron Hands could potentially make that a 4, and then all you have to do is bosses out one of like their setups, maybe a Hoot Hoot, or the Noctowl from those sets, and pop it there with your Ampy very much, and there you go. You got 2 KOs, and you got all 6 of your prize cards. It's also telling us that new Raikou from the Mega Evolution stack. It's a good single prize pressure flexible closing pick. So it initially does 30 damage, but if you have 4 electric energies in play, which usually with this deck you're not going to have any less than that in play, he does 90 extra damage, giving us another 120 damage move. And for a single prize attacker, that's not bad. Moving in again, we got rid of the regular Manectric. It does tell us 31 trainers. We did keep the Nest Balls, the Ultra Ball, the Electric Generator, the Energy Switch, the Pokégear 3.0, kept Ionos, the Professor's Research, the Counter Catchers, the Prime Catcher as our A-Spec. We did go with 2 of the Beaches and 1 Switch, but this is where, again, it gets a little confusing. It considered this as 3, and then said example, do 2 and 1. So it actually counted this line as 6, telling us we had 31 trainers, when we actually only had 28. So I took the liberty to ending up adding a couple of other options, and you'll see a couple of these things I did change around to, like we don't have 2 Raikou, we only have 1, but I can show you why that is in a second. And then we have our 12 basic energies. Gives us a quick game plan, quick and dirty it says. We want to bench a Miraidon to get our hand out there, get an electric generator as quick as possible, and then get that Mega Manectric online and ready to go. Tells us why these partners were looked into. Tells us exactly why these were good picks to go around with Pachirisu, just to buy them turns. And then it also said that, you know, I mentioned Raging Bolt as an example. It figured out that it was playable, but it's not a good lightning synergy for the generator and the Beach Court pivots, and figured that if I would like a Bolt variation, it could make it. But it determined with the deck it was building now that it just wouldn't work, especially just due to the fact that it does need a lot of fighting energy, and this deck's all about ramping out that electric energy. Tells us our turn 2 or turn 1 moves, our legality of the set, which it confirmed is good, and gives us all of our sources once again. So I thought that was pretty cool that it was able to go through and do that. But now let's take a look at the final deck we ended up with. We kept the 4 Electric, we have the 3 Mega Manectric, our 2 Miraidons, our 2 Iron Hands, 2 Pachirisus, And we only opted for one Raikou because we ended up switching in for a Zekrom EX because that is an extremely powerful attacker. And with the Miraidon EX's ability, both of those are basic Pokemon, so if we want, we can easily cycle into the Raikou. If we don't need to worry too much about having a single prizer, Zekrom's a good pick. For as many prize cards as they have already taken, that Zekrom's 130 damage move does do 50 more damage per attack, which is extremely good. We did add a Kirin just for an idea of extra switchability, but on top of that, we can get an extra 30 damage off on our EX Pokemon. So that'll be really nice for, you know, if I want to be able to pivot into my Iron Hands or give the Zekrom just a little bit of an extra boost on that final move. Felt that that was a good opportunity to get some switch and or extra damage. The next thing I added was 2 of the Levencias. So the Levencias are able to help us with, if we end up having to use Mega Manectric's final move and discard 3 energies, we can pull those right back out of our discard pile, put them into our hands, and if we end up needing to, we can Ionos out of that, get those back shuffled into our decks, and then be able to Electric Generator once again. All in all, I think ChatGPT did an amazing job setting this up, making sure that the legality was everywhere. Just a couple of hiccups with trying to get us to use standard Manectrics, as well as giving us 3 extra trainer card counts, even though we didn't have those, just because it miscounted on its own. Besides those couple of modifications there, and then the Zekrom edition, I don't think this was too bad. We kept it pretty much the same as what ChatGPT told me to, with a couple of modifications. Now, in future videos, if you want me to, I am more than happy to just not change anything and roll exactly what ChatGPT gives me for our first battle, and then maybe make some modifications as we see fit going forward in those battles. However, for now, we are going to get into these games, and I will tell you we are going to be doing a little ranking system at the end, which I will explain at the end of the video, and we will do that with the whole series. All right, here we are in TCG Live. And I do want to preface this. Obviously, you can see my rank on the screen here. I do not claim to be good at this game. I play it here and there. I have fun with it. But I'm not the greatest at this game. I try my best. I go to like pre-release tournaments. Never really been to a huge tournament ever. But I figure if I can get started here, maybe this can be something that we continue on doing with the channel. I would love to continue doing this with the channel, whether I'm good at the game or not. I think it would be fun. And yeah, so we will get started here into our first match. It looks like the webcam should be in a good spot. I think the only thing it might block is a stadium, but if it does, that's fine. Oh, this would have been such a good start. Unfortunately, we have to mulligan, even though we've got nest balls. All right, well, the mulligan's unfortunate. Hopefully we can get another electric generator in our hand as well as a nest ball, just so that way we can nest ball into a Miraidon and get more value out of it. We'll see here once the opponent decides to click the done button. No idea what they're even trying to do right now. Finally, wow. Oh, we double mulliganed, what? Oh, that's unfortunate. We had an electric generator in both. Okay, you know what? We have another electric generator. It's fine by me. We'll put our Manectric out, bench our Raikou. Can't really even get... I need to hope that we pull a nest ball here. Pulling a nest ball would be the best opportunity we have so we can get Miraidon in. If not, then I might want an Ultra Ball so we can try to get our Manectric up and running by the next turn. Be able to try to one-shot whatever. And this looks like it might just be moot point because this person is AFK or something now. And now can't decide if they want to pull 0, 1, or 2. 2 is the default that it sets itself on. Alright, well, we'll see here. It's a Charmander deck. So I'm going to start off with an energy here. Use electric energy, of course. Nothing in there. Alright, well, that's fine. I'll just have to switch it, or end my turn here. Hopefully they just turn out, because honestly, don't feel like playing against a Charmander. They're going to turn out. They're just AFK. Alright. Oh, no. They're back. Oh my god, a Charizard Dragapult. Dragapult's such a nightmare for this deck, I think. I would have a feeling that it's going to be, because if I've got Electrike trying to set up on the back, or, you know, the amount of... This is not going to be good, I don't think. Luckily, they can't evolve first turn. I'm hoping they don't have much of anything. We'll see what tool and item they pull. Hoping it's not anything too crazy. Hoping that their deck is just kind of mid. Okay, so I got a rare candy maximum belt. I do have the Ionos, luckily, so I can just force a hand reset on them because I don't care for my hand right now. If I get something good on my next pull, I should be able to use it right away, and then I don't care if I get my bosses and my prime catcher back in there because I don't need it right now. So he's able to get discard Stadium, so I mean, you're not able to do anything else with that. Terra Orb, oh yeah, so he's gonna, yep, perfect. I'm cycling that back into his hand because he's got a rare candy, he's got his maximum belt, and he has his EX. So honestly, I'm kind of wondering if it would be beneficial, and hopefully, why are you doing that? Okay, I was hoping that he would have played the belt on the Charmander this turn, so that way I could have just, you know, hopefully getting the Magma Trick here and an energy and killed them. But I'll shuffle his hand back into his deck, so he seemed happy with what he had. Okay, so I don't hate this. So if I can get an electric generator here, perfect. I think I want to put Pachirisu on the bench here too. Use another electric generator, perfect. I'm gonna put one on him, one on the Pachirisu. I will pull that out. Levencia, drop that over into the discard. Put Raikou back out, which will allow me now to use Levencia to grab that back out. I have not attached one manually, so I can put that onto Electrike. And we'll be able to use Raikou to one-shot the Charmander, who's already got energy built up. Take him down. Perfect. I'm hoping to get some sort of switchability here. An energy switch, I don't hate. So I could energy switch off of my Raikou onto like my Electrike, hopefully get a Mega Manectric on the next turn. Because I'm hoping I can either pull the Mega Manectric or get some mid card, so I can just use my Ultra Ball to get Professor's Research out. Or maybe I just use Professor's Research, because I might not need to use the Ultra Ball necessarily. And he's setting up his Dreepy again, so I'm assuming he's got to have like a Dracloak or something. Okay, you know what? Iono's fine. He just wants to use Dracloak in. I didn't have the greatest hand. I had an idea. And there's Miraidon anyways, so that's perfect. And I honestly have the Beach Court, so I don't even need to utilize the retreat cost for my Raikou. The only issue is trying to pull in a Mega Manectric. So I might want to Beach Court, put my Pachirisu in. Well, I don't know if I want to Beach Court, because then that gives him free retreat as well. Passes his turn, so no Dracloak, sad for him. Oh, well, we have 2 Nest Balls, which it's like, you know, that's great and all, but okay. You know, I felt like if he continued to play there, he might have actually had a chance to beat me, but he just gave up quick and early, so I will take that. Match 1 down. Not a really good example of what this deck is like potentially capable of, but it does show that there's at least some fear. Collect our Battle Pass awards. Oh, we got a pack. Let's see what's in the pack. Mega Gardevoir EX. The Executor Full Art. Did we get a Demigod pack? A Camerupt EX? Holy shit! What? I know it's not the same as actually like pulling something like that in real life, but oh my god! On a Demigod pack! That's wild! Let's get back into this, because I think the fact that that deck was able to scare away the opponent enough, and showing that capability of that Raikou in the early game setup, with getting everything set up with Levencia being able to just use 1 energy to retreat out, pull it back on, and like it was basically a beach court for a basic. As long as I didn't pre-attach it. So I was able to reattach because I had 2 attachments with the electric generator and went from there. Yeah, I honestly don't hate how this is turning out so far. This deck seems pretty good. Now, I'm going to decline going first, so that way I can actually utilize my supporters. Because I think this deck feels like it's a second go kind of deck. Man, dude, I keep mulliganing. I got a decent amount of Pokemon. There's no reason I should be mulliganing this much. But if I can basically just get my Pachirisu out in the front, that's a better turn one attack Pokemon than being able to go first and set up for a bench. These guys got a good setup. I feel like this is going to be a Mega Gardevoir, which I don't think this deck is going to be that great with. I mean, I would take playing Mega Gardevoir over Mega Lucario with this deck, but still. Iron Hands, the first one we get for retreat cost, is brutal. I'm trying to think what Beartic and Frostmoth go into. I'm not sure if I've played against something like this. Unfortunately, okay, so it's a Greninja, so I can counter his deck. Okay, so the Cubchoo is also another stall Pokemon. Okay, well, play Raikou onto the bench, get our Nest Ball out. We'll pull in Miraidon. And then we're going to use Miraidon's ability. We'll be able to pull out one of our Electrics and Pachirisu. See if we can get a supporter here. Unfortunately, no supporter. That was our top deck too. That's insane. It was just all Pokemon up there. I guess I'll start by setting up our Electrike. Iron Hands will be able to play kind of like a Meat Shield for now. We're just gonna unfortunately have to treat him like an early game Blood Moon. Rare Candy, you're already gonna get a Greninja out. Oh, it's the Terra Greninja, so I don't even counter it. And it does in fact counter me. Trying to think, you know what, I'm fine with that. Didn't have a great hand. This gives me more opportunity. I always love when the other player's Iona works in my favor. The only thing that could make this better is if I pull Switch or potentially Prime Catcher. And I can just electric generate my Electrike, evolve it into Mega Manectric, and one-shot the Greninja. So I would love to be able to do that. So I have an Inteleon too. Okay. So I do counter the Inteleon. They do have Hilda in their deck. Put your deck for an evolution and an energy card. So yeah, that's good for a rare candy set. And I think they're trying to figure out a way that they can set up this Greninja early, because Greninja will just one-tap me if they can get one energy out. So all they need is one energy on this Greninja, and then they can retreat out, go into Greninja, and my Iron Hand is one shot. If they don't have the energy, which I don't think they do, because it doesn't look like they got an item for Secret Box that can let them pull energy. Oh, never mind. There it is. Yeah, so I'm unfortunately getting one shot here. So now I get to select a card too. This Greninja might be a problem unless, like, I literally just need to get this Electric set up. And I can't put him out. So I need to, like, put Pachirisu in or something. Just like a single prize. And I get an energy. Okay, so what I need to have happen, perfect. And I need to stack them on Electric here. I need to evolve into Mega Manectric. Attach an energy to Pachirisu. Retreat out with Pachirisu. Put Manectric in. With Miraidon, I'm going to try to get another Iron Hands on the bench. I don't want to fill the bench yet. Yeah, I'll just one-shot the Greninja, get this out of here. The unfortunate thing is he one-shots me if he gets another Greninja out too. So that's a little scary. Something I'm going to have to worry about. We did get Beach Court, which might be nice for us. What's good with this Manectric, though, too, is I can get out with him for free. Now, it's unfortunate that I got Beach Court. I would have really rather the Levincia. So that way I could get my Lightning Energy back. Because I have 4 energy currently sitting in the discard with an Electric Generator. So it's a little scary. So if he tries to even set that up, I've got a good opportunity to just take it down. I feel like my biggest threat right now is the Froakie. If I can get Froakie out and just block out the Greninja's possible play, I should be safe. because if he gets Greninja out, all he needs is 1 energy and he 1-taps Mega Manectric just due to the weakness from the Terra. He's gonna boss in my Iron Hands. Yep, I shouldn't have put Iron Hands out there. That's 100% my fault. I cannot put Iron Hands out until I have a generator to put on it. That is my problem, and that is what I just totally messed up on. He's just getting me extra chip damage, which is fine. If he wants to do that, he can. Professor's Research. So I don't want to discard an Electrike. It sucks because I might have to just discard. Well, if I discard an extra energy, I get it back in my hand anyways. And at this point, I think building up my Manectric is going to be the best play. Because otherwise this Cubchoo is just going to keep hitting Iron Hands down. And I just need to pray that I can pull a switch. This is going to benefit me more than it will him, and I'm sure it helps him a little bit. But I think it's better this way. Prime Catcher is perfect here. So I can use my electric generator. Perfect. 2 more energies. I'm going to attach 1 here. Maybe I put 1 on Raikou. So then, yeah. I can Prime Catcher out. I'll probably put in the Brokey. Put in the Mega Manectric. And the nice thing is I won't take any damage on the next play. So I can just do the damage now. So now my next turn I can't get damaged. So if he wants to try to put the Cubchoo out to play against my Mega Manectric, he can't because the attack won't do anything to me, so I will still be able to attack. Yeah, that's the exact play he's gonna try to make here. And we at least took out the Froakie, so even if he gets 1 in on his bench, he's not going to be able to evolve it until next turn. He does have the Frostlass out, which I don't think is an issue, because it only affects Rule Box Pokemon. So the only thing it's going to affect is my Miraidon here. Release Determination. I don't have 6 Grasscuts remaining. It's he. That's fine. I've got 3 Ultra Balls. Maybe I can Pokegear into an Iono's or a Professor's. I think I would rather Pokegear into a Professor's. Discard these Ultra Balls because I don't need them right now. I'm gonna have 2 Manectrics out on this play, so I won't have a need for the Ultra Ball because everything else I would need is a basic that Miraidon can put out. He's got a Fez. He's going to play Fez to his bench. I don't know if Fez's weakness is fighting. Okay. Okay. So realistically, at this point too, I could Pokegear into a boss in Pop Fez and Dippity for a free 2 prize cards here. If I can get Pokegear into... I'm trying to think. I don't think that'll work. Oh, I'm asleep now? What am I asleep for? What does that do? Your opponent's act. Oh, that's kind of an insane move. Okay. Okay, so I think either way, what I do here is play an energy onto Raikou. I'll Pokegear into Professors. I'll play my Manectric from here. I'm wondering if I energy switch, because I mean I can't even attack with him, so I can retreat out if I need to. And just stack up energy here, and maybe I get a generator, so yeah. And maybe my generator only finds 1, because I think I'm running low on energies right now. So Professors, discard those Ultra Balls. Okay, perfect. So I've got my better option here. But I think I already attached manually, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so it's nice I got the switch. So I can put Raikou in. And Raikou can take out Frosmoth. And now all I need to do is Next turn, get one of my Manectrics attached with another energy. Retreat with Raikou. Toss out the Fez, and I win. So I like that, you know, like the Pachirisu hasn't come into play yet, which is unfortunate. But I think it's just at least got enough of a threat on it that it kind of works. So I can also use it as a quick pivot mon, because if I do have the Beach Court out, it costs nothing to retreat. Or even if I have Levincia out, it's still the same thing. I retreat with an energy, and then I've got the energy back. Now, I almost wonder if this guy just calls it quits. If he leaves here, what's he gonna do? I almost bet you he concedes here. It's a 4-2. I've got Pokemon set up. He knows I've got basics in my hand, and I don't think he's got a possible way of even winning, because he knows I'm gonna win on this next turn, I bet. So 10 cards in his hand. He doesn't have anything to work with here. I think it's game over. I don't know really what deck he's trying to run here either. It's kind of not that great. The Frostmoth could have caused issues if it wasn't for that switch that I had, because he could have just sat up there and just bodied me. So yeah, he's cycling the 10 back in for potential of another 6. He's really grasping for straws right now. Buddy Puff, and he's just gonna try to get something on his bench, I guess. I don't know if he's got another Frostlass. I mean, again, it's not going to do anything to me. Is it just ability mons or rule box mons that has an ability? Okay. So yeah, there's the snout up. Yep, okay. So I was wondering what happened here. Oh, it was the 20 from the Frostmoth. That's right. Okay, so all I gotta do is an energy here. I will pull a retreat. Put the Manectric in. Toss up the Fez. And I unfortunately messed up, because I need 3 energies. And I don't have a generator. I'll still just at least get energies into my hand, just in case they cycle a deck with an Ionos. No, that's fine. Ellie at least won't take any damage. He doesn't have a pivot with this. And he's just giving his Fez more and more damage. And even if he does find a way to one-shot this, I still have the win with my other Manectric. That's that. I have a chance to read that with it, so. He uses only if your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards. Choose one of your Pokemon to play during the opponent's next turn to prevent all damage from effects and attacks done to that Pokemon by your opponent's EX Pokemon. So I wonder which one he picked. Probably picked the Fez, I would assume. So honestly, if that's the case, it prevents damage from done to that Pokemon by your opponent's EX. Okay. So yeah, I just retreat out here to put in Raikou. And I win. Dude, every time that Zekrom always gets prized. I did a couple of test runs with this one, and that Zekrom always gets prized. There's win 2 of 2. And honestly, against a deck that should have countered me, but I'm not sure if he knew how to play that deck even. We got one more for this episode. We'll go in here. Looks like we're against a Mega Lucario deck, which is absolutely nightmarish for this deck, because I'm just going to get full countered by the whole thing. And this Mega Lucario deck is busted. The Fighting Gong, the fact that it has a single item that does 30 bonus damage, and I don't know if you can stack those items, but it does not need that bonus damage with the amount of that it is able to put out anyways. And then you put the bonus damage, you have a free boss's orders if you evolve into a Hariyama. It's such a good deck. I would prefer they go first, I feel like, here. So I'm hoping to get Pachirisu off the rip here. In the same situation I was, dude. Iron Hands is my lead. It's just going to get demolished here. This is unfortunate. I'm trying to think of the only way that I could really pull something off here. I think I need maybe the opponent to I think I need Ionos, and I can't get it. That is unfortunate. So I think I gotta hold on to Valencia. I don't know if I want to put an energy on yet. He's gonna do 20 to 60 damage to me next turn. I might just be forced to Ultra Ball here, but I don't know what I would get rid of. I think what I have to do is play Levencia. I need Ultra Ball, get rid of the Counter Catcher and energy. I need to get in Miraidon. Play the Miraidon here. Go with my tandem here, get an Electrike and a Pachirisu. Run my electric generator. 3. Put 1 on him, 1 on him, and then use my Levencia to grab that energy that I had to discard out, put it onto Electrike, and my Electrike will be ready for next turn as a Manectric, and I just need a switch. I don't think I'd be too mad if our opponent here Ionos, because I think that might be the only way I can do anything, but it's also might be the only way he can do anything, because I don't know what's happening here. He might not have... He might just be like almost all energy, maybe fighting gongs. He probably doesn't have his internal Soul Rock set up. Yep, Lily's determination, so he gets to do it, and I don't. Oh man. And now he gets to get set up. Yep, Gravity Mountain, that's awesome. So, stage 2s are knocked back, but that's nothing I care about, because I don't have any stage 2s. It's the only thing he was able to get out. An electric generator again. So, I feel like, especially if I think this Zekromp's gonna do what I need to do. And then maybe another electric here. So if I can get the setup, if he knocks out my Iron Hands, it's already doing 230 as compared to 120 off of that. Nothing. Are you kidding? That's unfortunate. This is the first time I found myself low on cards, and this would be like the one time that I would want like a Mew. Because if I had a Mew and I could have played that out instead of with the Zekrom really Electric, and at least been able to cycle into 3 cards and then maybe Electric Generator. Maximum Belt already being put into play. Premium Power Up, so he's going to do 120 damage plus over the Maximum Belt does, so he's going to do 170. Man, he is just able to cycle his whole hand just fine. And I guarantee you now, here comes the Riolu, the Lunatone, or the Soul Rock. Maybe even all 3. I bet you he gets lucky and gets at least 2 of the 3. It's just unfortunate that I get starts where I only have Iron Hands. He's got Fighting Arms, all you can get is a Fighting Energy. He doesn't have anything, or he can get a Fighting type Pokemon out of it, right? So I don't even think he wants to go for the energy. Maybe he just tries to find, and I hope that most of his stuff is prized, because it really feels like it might be. Well, there's a Riolu, so he's got his Riolu in, which means the Lucario might be coming here soon, especially if this Fighting Gong gives him the Lucario. I don't give him the Lunatone, so he's going to play Lunatone. Luckily, he doesn't have Soul Rock, so he can't take advantage of that ability. Okay, it does just one-shot me. The fact that a Maku Heater gets to do that, like, that's the thing with a deck like this. So I got Manectric at least. Nest Ball does me no good. Sucks. I'm just gonna have to take the Maku Heater out, force its Ace Specs gone, and 2 of its energies. It sucks. The single prize was doing that much damage to me. There's one of my energies, one of my 12. I feel like I don't have a lot of good prizing happening right now. And there's the Mega Lucario, and that means I am dead. Not yet, but I'm gonna be, because he's gonna be able to take 3 basics from his discard pile to his bench if he wants. He's gonna be doing 260 damage, but he's gonna get another Riolu set up. And this guy's like, how much money did he spend? But he's got the Riolu, he's got the Mega Lucario area. Even looking in here, all of this stuff is all the art rares and everything. Dude, that's a wild. And he's gonna boss out something else, right? What's he putting in? Probably gonna try to one-shot my Zekrom, I'm guessing, because then it takes 2 prize cards from him, and then all he has to do is evolve the other Makuhita. No, the other Makuhita's dead, so he's out of that. He might not want to do this either. He might just, I think he would have rather just keep my Manectric as damage for this Lucario. Yeah, there's the Zekrom though, which is unfortunate. It means I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do with him. I'm not even going to be able to one-shot or anything. Yeah, he wanted to keep my Manectric in. So he messed up. He was forced to use 2 cards to do literally what he wanted to do. So my hope at this point is honestly pulling Kieran. Never mind, I'm one-shot, I'm dead. Because, again, that makes sense. Having a item card that does that. I'm not a fan of this deck, this deck at all. Wait, what? That wasn't enough to kill? Holy shit. Okay. We might be in a good spot now. Okay. So, again, this is such an uncomfortable situation for me. Because, like, I don't one-shot him even. I almost feel like I have to put an energy here. Energy switch to get the energy off the Pachirisu to put on my other Manectric. And then... do I allow more damage onto that Manectric? Because he should be able to use Mega Brave now. Or either way, he will be able to. So if I put this Manectric in, he can't take damage. This one wouldn't be able to take damage either. So maybe I just do this. I'm just trying to think of my best ways around everything. And I think right now just making sure that I can't take damage, but it's only from basics, isn't it? It is only from basics. I don't know where my brain's at right now, dude. So unfortunately, I should have gone for the extra damage. I'm not used to this deck yet at all. In my mind, I played that so smart, and then after seeing it, I played it dumb. So let me guess, he's gonna get Ultra Ball, get his Mega Lucario, Air Balloon out of there, put the new Mega Lucario into play, and then hit me with the 270. He's got the gold, the SIR. So what was the point in the... he's just BMing at this point. I would almost find it funny if he decked out at this point, but he's not going to. He's going to kill me too quick. He'd be an idiot if he went for Mega Brave, though, because he can't attack with it. Although then he can just go right back out to the other Lucario and be fine. Okay, you should be able to tell I can't do anything right now. So he already attached for turn. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of cooked. Mega Lucario deck, though. Not a fan, especially if you're running a Mega Manectric or anything of the sorts. Not a fan. The only thing is, I don't know how much this is going to get played because it's going to get countered by the Gardevoir, but I have not seen Gardevoirs at all. I think everyone's like just too understanding this Mega Lucario's too busted. Just one? Are you kidding? Well, you know what? At this point, we'll just put another Pachirisu out there just because we can. And yeah, that's unfortunate. But I knew if we ran into a Mega Lucario, this would not be able to do anything against it. So it's understandable, but it's alright. Not too upset about how it performed against Mega Lucario. That guy also just got things set up way too quick for my liking. Like, because I couldn't get anything set up quick because I got stuck with the Iron Hands in my active spot. So that's my 3 games for this deck. So I will meet you guys in our little summary. So, all in all, I get this deck is basically just a clone with a couple extra steps of the Iron Hands Miraidon deck already. But the Mega Manectric coming in from this new set, as well as the Pachirisu being able to be utilized for early game setup, is pretty good. I don't hate how it plays. The only issue I've ran into is I just can't get the Pachirisu out sometimes. I was getting unlucky with my early game draws today, I feel like. I was getting stuck with Iron Hands in my active or multiple mulligans. So it's an unfortunate situation that occurred there, but we got through. We got 2-1 on the day. One of which we beat was a Fighting Terra Greninja, which technically was a counter to my deck. I will take it. We beat one counter. We lost to a meta big counter. So unfortunately, my deck just does not like the Lucario deck. It's either going to be we don't see the Lucario deck a lot because it gets countered by the Gardevoir, which is going to be popular, or people go with Lucario instead of Gardevoir this time because the Lucario deck has just got a lot more kill potential. But we'll see what happens and what pans out coming up in the next couple of weeks once we start seeing these mega decks hit the tournament scene in IRL tournaments. That is going to conclude this. So all in all, I would say playability-wise, just outside of my luck, not considering that, I would say I'd probably give it I'll say an 8.5. There's not much bad with it. It's just maybe countered by some of the new meta. And as for uniqueness, I think it's honestly kind of unique that immediately ChatGPT could come up with a deck that was able to take new cards from a set. It's utilized the new Raikou, the new Mega Manectric and Electrike, and the new Pachirisu, and incorporated it into a pre-existing meta deck that still continues with Electric Cycle. So I think that's pretty cool. So uniqueness, honestly, before I went into this, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to grade it, but thinking about it, it really does incorporate a lot of the new stuff that people haven't gotten a chance to experiment with yet. So I'd give the uniqueness a 9, honestly. So with the 8.5 and the 9, that comes out to be about 17.5 out of 20, which averages out to be 8.75 out of 10 for this deck. I actually really do like it. Like I said, the only issue I really see running into is this Mega Lucario set. However, anything else, I think it's got a good opportunity to run through. It's got good kill potential on multiple different occasions. Just as long as you can get everything set up and you don't get stuck with an Iron Hands in your starting spot, I think it's absolutely perfect. The only thing I can maybe say to change with it is a couple more switch opportunities, but I never even got my Kiernan. I think that was prized almost every single game. But if I got some more switchability when I had the Iron Hands stuck out there, I think it would have been much better. I potentially could have won that Lucario game because that Makuhito just bodied me with all of those abilities stacked up on each other. But all in all, really good deck. Don't think I can complain too much. I'm super happy with how it turned out. So please, in the comment section down below, let me know what card you want me to see Ask ChatGPT about next. Please make sure that it is a legal deck because I want to take it into the ladder and test it out against actual people because sometimes these bots are a little... So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the series. Leave a like if you want me to continue doing this series. And without further ado, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out.